Well, we have a historic protest at the Supreme Court. Not only did someone rise up and speak out against the court in the case of McCutcheon and speak out in favor of democracy and the American people, and that is actually fairly unprecedented. It's only happened a couple of times in the last 2 decades. But we now have video of the event. I believe we're the first media show showing you the video. I know some websites have had it, and obviously 99 Rise, who has the video in the first place, is the one that put it out there because the co-founder, Kai Newkirk, is the one who did the protest. So I want to show you why Kai did it in a second, because we have his quotes and what happened to him. But first, what you're about to see is something that has literally never been seen before. A video inside the Supreme Court. It is not legal to tape in there, but some brave souls went in there just to show people how things are going down and to protest Citizens United and what the Supreme Court has done to our democracy. So watch it first.
I rise on behalf of the vast majority of the American people who believe that money is not speech, corporations are not people, and our democracy should not be for sale to the highest bidder. Overturn Citizens United. Keep the captive in custody. We will demand democracy. I rise on behalf of the vast majority of the American people who believe that money is not speech, corporations are not people, and our democracy should not be for sale to the highest bidder. Overturn Citizens United. Keep the captive in custody. We will demand democracy.
I know it's illegal and that he's going to be escorted from the building, and that's called civil disobedience, by the way, and it's powerful, and I fully support it. But the way they whisked him away, I mean, it was eerie in that video. Now, what exactly is he protesting? You got to understand something. The corruption of our politics did not begin with Citizens United. It goes all the way to Buckley v. Vallejo, where they said money is speech. There you heard Kai Newkirk saying that it is not speech. In fact, a lot of people make the argument, of course, that it's property, right? And that people who are allowed to spend unlimited money in politics have unlimited power, and that does not make us equal, right? And then secondly, the Supreme Court then in Bellotti in 1978 said corporations can spend money in politics because they're human beings, which was decided earlier, which is ridiculous. Doesn't it sound ridiculous as I say it? Their corporations are human beings, what, with inalienable God-given rights? That's absurd. And that's exactly, again, what Kai was protesting. And then, of course, Citizens United put those decisions on steroids and said that there is no cap on political spending if it's an independent expenditure. The case they're considering now, and the one that he protested in, was McCutcheon versus FEC, where they say that they might lift caps on individual politicians, giving money to individual politicians. So, I mean, if Citizens United hadn't already shot a dead horse, this would be basically torpedoing the dead horse. So there would be unlimited, obvious, legalized bribery as you just hand wads of cash to politicians and tell them what to do. If you don't protest that, there's something wrong with you. So this was a brave action. He was arrested. but well justified. It was also brave to videotape it, and so that we can see what the Supreme Court is taking away from us in secret, okay? Now, I know that they published the transcript, but why don't they want to show what they're doing? Why don't they want to show their face as they steal our democracy from us? There's a reason why, and I'm glad it was shown. So now let me quote Kai Newkirk in his own words. He says, generations of Americans have shed blood, sweat, and tears to win the right to vote and extend the promise of democracy in America. It's time for our generation to step up and do whatever it takes to defend that right and the corruption of big money in politics. If that means risking arrest in order to speak truth to power, so be it. By the way, it's a great note by him there. Every generation of Americans has passed a constitutional amendment, except one, and that's us. We need to pass an amendment to get money out of politics. Obviously, I agree with his action, and there's a very powerful PAC called Wolf PAC, whose job is to get money out of politics, okay? That's wolf-pac.com. You go over there and you join the fight. By these means, if it's what it takes, civil disobedience, but also through the legislative process, which is exactly what Wolf PAC is doing. It's to gather Americans to go get our democracy back by legal means, by the proper means, by the constitutional means. It's in the Constitution that we can call for a convention to get an amendment when Washington is so corrupt and so out of hand as has clearly happened here. Let me quote Kai again. He said, the Supreme Court Citizens United decision was a betrayal of the American people and of our democracy. It took the systemic corruption of our government by big money interests to an obscene new level. If the court eliminates the cap on aggregate donations by an individual in an election cycle, the question at hand in the McCutcheon case, it would put another round of shots into the dying body of our democracy. Unfortunately, he's very right about that as well. If you're waiting for Congress, this incredibly corrupt Congress, to solve this, they're not going to do it. They got into power by using this corrupt system, by taking those legalized bribes in the form of campaign contributions and independent expenditures. They're not going to change the system. They love the system. The system is what put them into place in the first place. But we can do it a different way. You can do it at a convention of the states where the states say, we've had enough of Washington. And you get together and you do a convention and you propose an amendment that way. You can do it at the state level, and there is a way out of this. And that also tells the Supreme Court you're wrong. And you know what? There's one thing above the Supreme Court, the United States Constitution. And if it wasn't clear enough, we'll make it clear. As I told you, Kai has been arrested. As is reported here at CNN, Newkirk has been charged with violating federal law that makes it a crime to harangue or utter loud, threatening, or abusive language in the Supreme Court building. Wow, what a crime indeed. So I understand that you can't have nonstop disturbances, but we almost never have any disturbances. And that those Supreme Court justices live in a bubble where they think, they said in Citizens United that the millions of dollars spent on these political campaigns don't even give the appearance of corruption. Who could possibly believe that unless you live in that bubble? So it was a wonderful day in American democracy today when that bubble was burst just a little bit by a brave soul named Kai Newkirk. So, co-founder of 99 Rise, it was a great moment of civil disobedience. Hope that there is more to come.